Greetings and welcome to GBS Advanced English. This is week 4. We're talking about dating and nightlife. This week we're going to talk about romantic culture and going out on those holidays that are specifically designed for special couples. We're also going to talk about going out and spending time with your friends and loved ones. We're also going to focus this week on drinking culture and what's different between America and Korea. Stay right there. We're going to be right back. Holidays. Take 1. All right, let's start off this week talking about the differences between American holidays and Korean holidays, which involve romance. In America, we have Valentine's Day, just like you do here in Korea. But unlike in Korea, we do not separate it into 2 different holidays. In Korea, we have Red Day and White Day. In America, they're combined together and they are one single holiday. This way, everybody celebrates romance on that same day. Well, not everybody. There's been many times where people who are single will have their own kind of party that does not involve romance. It's Lonely Hearts Ball or Valentine's Bashing Day. They have other things that they do during that special day. But for the most part, on Valentine's Day, couples get together and they go out and usually have a very nice and special date. So instead of separating it into 2 holidays, or in this case 3 holidays if we include Black Day, then we separate it only into one special day, Valentine's Day in America. Welcome to the 21st century when it comes to dating. It's no longer just the man who needs to ask the woman out for a date, and it's no longer just the man who pays for a date, although that is a very romantic and very gentlemanly gesture. Let's talk about dates for a few minutes. What is a date? Well, it depends on who you talk to, how they classify a date, whether it's just going out and spending time together or actually going out and planning a full style date where you go to dinner, movies, or to do something special together. We do have some different ideas about who pays for the date, and that's something that comes from old times. That usually the man usually pays for the dates, but that's not what has to happen. Ladies, you can ask a man out on a date and you can pay for it. There's nothing wrong with that. And guys, if she asks you out on a date, enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with that in today's world. But if you do ask someone to go out, you may be asked to go out and go Dutch. If they ask you to go Dutch, it's not Dutch pay like it is in Korea. It's just going Dutch. That means that both people will pay their own way on that date. Now, you can also have a blind date where your friend sets you up with someone that you've never met before. This does not mean that they are physically blind and unable to see. And if they were, be careful of their dog. You don't want to trip over their dog. Sorry, bad joke. Anyway, a blind date means that you don't know the person before you meet them. Along with a blind date, you can also be set up on a double date, which means that either 2 couples that already know each other go out on a date, or you could be going out with a date and your date's partner or friend comes with them. And that way you can meet that person. So you would be dating somebody that you've not met before. Again, a blind date, but is a double date, meaning that there'll be 2 couples celebrating at one time or going out together. Now, what is a date? That's up to you to decide what is a date. What's truly romantic? Each person is different. We've talked about going out on dates with other people, especially people on a romantic date, but let's talk about going out on a date or a night on the town with just your friends and drinking. In Korea, there's a very big part of your culture that's centered around drinking culture. And things like pouring somebody else's drink or ordering food while you are out drinking, these are parts of Korean culture. When you're out with Westerners don't always order food. They may go out and just have drinks. They may go out and have a couple of beers. Side dishes are sometimes available, but they're not required as part of the um, dining culture. You can order some food, and usually people do so that they don't get too drunk. Working as a bartender in America for a few years, greasy food tends to be what people order when they're drinking because they think it's not going to help. It's going to help them not get drunk. A helpful thing, any food will help slow down alcohol going into your body. Greasy food just happens to be what most Westerners use. But when you do go out and have a drink with your friends or your mates, your buddies, sometimes you can drink a little bit too much. And if you drink too much, you may end up not remembering part of the night. In Korea, we call this, cut the film. It means that you've got memory and then it stops. In America, we don't have that exact expression. We call it a blackout. A blackout just means there's a part of your time that you cannot remember. I've had exactly 3 of them in my lifetime. And those 3 times, I don't know what happened. That's okay. My friends do, and they tell me the stories about what I did during that blackout time. And I'm rather embarrassed to say I don't like those stories very much. Why? Because I can't say, that never happened. I didn't do that. But they insist it did. Fortunately, for me, this happened before digital cameras. This happened before social media. So there's no video proof of what happened that time. All I have are my friends' stories about it. So if you do go out and get drunk now, you may end up seeing it on YouTube or on the internet. Be careful. But with drinking, there's one thing that you should remember. It's always a good idea to have a designated driver. This means somebody who's not going to drink, but will make sure that everybody else gets home safely. It's not a good idea to drink and then drive. It is best to have somebody else that does not drink. This person should be paid for their sodas or other beverages, paid for by the people who are not drinking. And that person that is not drinking, guess what? You're the man. You're the person who keeps it fun. It should rotate and be somebody else each different time. The reason you want to do that is so that everybody has a good time and that everybody makes it home safely after having that good time. We've talked about different kinds of dating. I have one more that I want to throw into this. It's not covered in your textbook, so I just want to give you a little bit of information about it. And that's online dating. Online dating refers to any way that you're meeting people, but you're doing it by yourself, and it's sort of doing a blind date. Similar to a blind date in that you don't know the person very well before you meet them. You can meet them through social media, you can meet them through a newspaper ad. I give you a word of warning when you meet people from an ad or from the internet. Be careful. Make sure that wherever you go, you do it in public. I can't stress this enough, is to do it in a public place that there are lots of people. You never know exactly who you're going to meet. A story from my past, I actually met a friend who I met them through the internet. And when I met the person in face to face, that was not the person I had been talking to. It was somebody completely different. Through the internet, you're able to hide. If you are doing dating, if you are going to meet somebody through social media, be yourself. Don't try to be false or give bad information through the internet. But always be careful and look out for your safety. Your safety is the first thing to be important, not their safety. Make sure that you're safe first. We've talked about some good things today. We've talked about dating. We've talked about Valentine's Day, Red Day, White Day, and Black Day. We've also talked about going out on blind dates and who pays for the date. We also discussed a little bit about going out on drinking culture, who does the drinking, what they drink, and what they eat. We also had a small little extra part about meeting people from social media or blind dates. Thanks very much. We'll see you in class next week.